You're listening to Love Talk Live with the relationship expert, Jaime Bronstein, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome to Love Talk Live. Today I have with me Keiko Hoshino. She's on the phone. Keiko, can you hear?
Oh, yes. Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for doing this show. You guys are all in store for such a beautiful, amazing show. Keiko and Ryuho Okawa.
Oh, yes.
Yes. You have a company, an organization called Happy Science, and you guys are going to learn all about happy science. And Ryuho's new book called, it's right here, called The New Resurrection, My Miraculous Story of Overcoming Illness and Death. And today we're going to be talking all about healing from within, how to cure illness using your subconscious mind. So, Keiko,
yes.
Thank you. And you are in New York right now, correct?
New Jersey, yeah, close enough.
Okay. It's all good. And so thank you so much for joining us. I know it's a little bit later there. And
thank you.
I'm going to read to you guys a little bit about Keiko and Ryuho, and then we'll get into the questions about everything that these beautiful, amazing people do. So first we're going to read about Ryuho. In 2004, at the age of 47, Ryuho Okawa suffered a severe, life-threatening episode and was rushed to a local hospital. Upon intake, medical examination revealed that Okawa's heart had stopped. Despite the physician's astonished pronouncement that he should be dead, Okawa miraculously healed himself using the power of his will and subconscious mind. Today, as the leader of Happy Science, Okawa has dedicated his life to selflessly guide faith seekers towards spiritual development and happiness. With more than 12 million followers, Happy Science is Japan's fastest growing and most influential spiritual movement. The upcoming book, The New Resurrection, My Miraculous Story of Overcoming Illness and Death, which is an autobiographical account of Okawa's miraculous resurrection from physical death, illustrates that we all harbor an innate ability to will ourselves to heal from within. And I just want to make a note that he does not speak English, so that's why Keiko, who is the publishing director of IRH Press, is on the phone with us and going to be representing him. So now a little bit about Keiko. Keiko, originally from Osaka, Japan, Keiko Hoshino was working at a Japanese financial institution in London when she was introduced to Happy Science in 1991 by a friend. After she moved back to Japan in 1994, Hoshino began working full-time for Happy Science. She was ordained as a minister in 2000 and transferred to the United States in 2006 to minister in New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Hawaii, and Los Angeles. In August of 2018, Hoshino took on the role of publishing director for the U.S. branch of Happy Science's publishing arm, IRH Press. So, Keiko, first off, can you please tell us a little bit about this book and when it will be released, and just tell us all about it?
Yes. So first of all, I want to say we call him Master Okawa, our spiritual leader, the author. He does speak English, but he doesn't come out to public to speak. Unfortunately, that's why I'm here to fill this role. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, please tell him that if he ever does decide, he can come on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was told by his publicist he doesn't speak English. So if he decides, the door is open. Anyhow, go on.
Yeah, of course. Yes. And then the book, The New Resurrection, will be released sometime just around February 15, which is in few weeks from now. And this is the original story of the movie called Immortal Hero. That actually had a showing within the United States last October, and then now it's available on video on demand, such as iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon. Not the Prime, but the regular Amazon. Yes. So anybody who would be interested, because the book and the movie are closely related, and the movie is actually based on 8% of the truth, that which took place in 2004. And the book has more kind of information, the background information, and as well about Ryuho Okawa's story, as well as how he developed Happy Science group to this age, after 15 years of his episode.
Wow.
So,
and can you tell us, for the viewers out there, what is the name of the movie again, the film?
Oh, the name of the movie is Immortal Hero.
Immortal Hero.
So,
okay.
Hero, yes. So if you actually go online and type immortal-hero.com, all the information, including trailers and some excerpts, are in there. So and also you can find the platforms for the video on demand.
Okay, wonderful. So, and before we go on, I have a bunch of questions. Before we go on, can you, in your own words, I guess, can you tell the viewers what is Happy Science?
Yes, Happy Science is like a kind of for me, in my words, it was like putting the final missing piece in jigsaw puzzle. It's like I've always searched for truth, but there are so many fragments of truth, and nothing seems to be complete. And when I reached to Happy Science a while back, I found all the truth. Every kind of a missing piece in the jigsaw puzzle was completed, and I saw the whole picture.
Wow!
And that was Happy Science. And then Happy Science is a movement to bring everybody together. We believe all of us, regardless of race and color of skin and gender, we are all equally precious as children of God. We have all equal quality within.
We are all one.
And all religion came from one source.
Yes.
So essentially, we believe one source, one planet, one people.
I agree. I love that you guys are bringing awareness to this. And I'm so happy that now it's spreading across the United States also. How long have you guys been kind of advocating for this in the United States?
Well, I believe it's since 1994, very in the beginning, started from New Jersey. And now we're still kind of slow, but steadily growing within the United States and Canada, and I believe we have around 10 locations within the United States, which is significantly small compared to the population of the United States. But still, we're doing our best to spread this message, these teachings.
Well, I think you're doing an amazing job, and with a name like Happy Science, who wouldn't want to be part of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I must say that some people made some fun of this name, but the thing is, I got quite great feedbacks. Happy Science is easy to remember, and it just it resonates in your mind, and it's a kind of a direct translation from the Japanese name, and maybe more precisely we could say Science of Happiness, but I think Happy Science has more kind of a catchy tone.
Interesting. Okay. There was a documentary called Happy. I don't know if you saw that. Have you heard of the documentary called Happy?
No, maybe. I mean, I may have, but I haven't really watched it. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like something you would definitely enjoy. It's about people and what is happiness. It's all about happy. And I was speaking to the man who created that, and he said, when we were thinking about the title for it, we just went with what is just so exactly what it is. You know what you're getting, and it's very clear, and it really is. It was a beautiful documentary. So let's get into my question. So, what is the miraculous power that transcends medical science?
Yes, that is actually faith. Everybody have maybe different kind of definition of faith, but actually to believe in the Creator and to believe that you have the same kind of a fragment, same quality of Creator or God within you. This is what the faith is about. And also in happy science, faith is not like a kind of a passive action, just wait to be saved. Faith is more like a mutual kind of effort. We, the human side, need to emphasize on self-help. And the more we help themselves, the outside power will help, will be easier to help us. That kind of a relationship. And so it's kind of both. It's kind of a both way, not just the one way thing.
Yes, and also I believe that we co-create, and I'm assuming you do too. That we do that work to help ourselves evolve and awaken, and then we co-create with universe, God, spirit, the life that we want. But I like that you're saying that we start with ourselves, because I completely believe and know that we have to do that inner work to show up happy and full and whole in order to manifest the life that we want.
Yes.
I love it. So we are on board. We are on board.
Yeah, well, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, did you have something else to say?
Yes, there's a saying there's a famous saying in I believe in Zen Buddhism, like when the egg hatches, the chick inside has to point out, where the mother hen to crack the egg. So it's like
it's like coming back to yourself.
Mutual efforts.
Yes, and coming back to yourself, coming back to who you really are.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so next question. What is the great power that resides within all of us?
Yes, that we call divine nature or Buddha nature. So it's, like I said in the beginning, all of us, regardless of race and gender, we all have the same quality within us, within our soul, which is called divine nature or Buddha nature. And that is the evidence that we are children of God. So, everybody, without any exception, all of us has this innate power within. But unfortunately, most of us forgotten because of this busy life and being fed some misleading information and living more materialistically. But we do have this innate power within us, and we are essentially, human beings are essentially spiritual being, not physical being. It's more like a soul dwelling in a physical body and going through like a life training.
Yeah, I always say a soul having a human experience. I am a divine being having a human experience.
Yes.
Yes, and I love that, and I agree with you that we, as we go through life, because of our life experiences, we start creating these stories, a lot of which are negative stories, and it kind of we forget who we are because of that.
That's right.
That's why we need to do this work to remind ourselves that we are divine beings having a human experience.
Yes. Yeah, that's why happy science exists, to remind people that we are divine beings, and that even if we become negative, there is a way to remove our negativities and restore our original state. That's what essentially what happy science teaches from many different directions.
I love it. So let's say somebody walks into a happy science place. What do they do first? Are there classes? Is it like a church on a Sunday? Do they do individual kind of therapy with clients?
Yes. We all, so we do have locations, one in Pasadena, maybe the closest one to you. And we have workshops, we have lectures, and also we have one-on-one consultations, anything we provide anything to make you better, make you feel happier, and overcome issues of life. So we have every tool. Yes.
Yeah, and you're probably going to be getting a few more people knocking on the Happy Science door. after
Yeah, I
this.
hope so. Yeah, because I know that a lot of people might feel kind of intimidated going to kind of new places, especially spiritual places. But just please don't be afraid and just explore. And if you don't like it, but you can at least read books or go see the movie. Watch the movies on video on demand, and it's just there are many ways to explore because in Happy Science, Ryuho Okawa has published more than 2,600 books, and then out of 200 have been translated into English. And
Wow.
so our books are available Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and everywhere. So there are many ways to explore, but definitely going into Happy Science Temple would really, you can feel and experience the vibration, the higher vibration. And if you practice meditation there, you feel you will remember you are a child of God and you are connected and you have been watched over and being loved nonstop.
Who doesn't
that kind
want
of experience.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I just wanted to spell Ryuho, just in case people wanted to Google him, because I know your name is on the screen, his name is not. So Ryuho is Ryuho Okawa, Okawa, just in case you wanted to look him up. But even if you looked up the title of the movie or the book, obviously you'd find him. So next question, what is the connection between mind, health, and illness?
Yes, a very good question. Actually, Ryuho Okawa, Master Okawa teaches us about 70 to 80% of illness is caused by wrong mindset. So mind is like a driver, and body is like a vehicle. And if even if we have a great car, if the driver skill is not good enough, we might crash. So the same thing goes on for the relationship mind and illness. So the mind is the controller, and because our body is like a river. If we see the river from the distance, it looks the same, maybe for decades. However, the contents of the water in the river changes constantly. That means our body is not like a fixated state. It's always changing. Our cells are rejuvenating. Our bones, the cells are turning over. So the body is constantly changing. But why illness, happens? It's because the mind, the negative mindset or the destructive mindset just kind of keep creating this order to malfunction our car. So something like that. Make sense?
Oh, it absolutely makes sense, and I agree with you, and I believe it. I have a question. I'm thinking, the viewers are watching. Maybe there's somebody who's thinking, how does Happy Science explain when there's someone who is a happy person, they seem as happy as possible, they have never been a smoker, and they get lung cancer, and it's not even hereditary or genetic? Is that
right?
I have my own explanation for that. I believe that it's already all planned out, and there's learning in it, and it's supposed to happen for whatever reason, but I'm sure you have a more technical reason.
Well, I don't know if I can be more technical, but first of all, everything has cause, and the reason why the person has to smoke. Maybe he or she started as a teenager.
I'm saying somebody who
I'm
saying someone who does not smoke. Someone who does not smoke but gets lung cancer.
Yeah, so does not smoke.
And they're a happy person.
Cancer, right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it is. From the medical point of view, I don't know what to say from that. Could be exact answer, but all I can say that some kind of a mindset, maybe, I don't know, having some fear, or I don't know, some kind of a prolonged mindset must have created the cancer cells. However, it is possible to turn over the situation. Having the cancer is not the end of the life, and there's a lot of people conquering cancer, and they turn their situation in a better way. So I don't want people to think having cancer or having illness like a punishment. It's not a punishment. It's just a kind of a wake-up call that the need to reset what had been happening in the past and to change the mindset and generate more awareness and more gratitude, and then determining to get better. That's all I can say for now.
No, thank you. And there's a book called Your Soul's Purpose, which actually talks a lot about like specific illnesses and kind of why they happen. But I love that you're bringing up fear, because there's fear and there's love, and maybe even somebody who appears to be happy and has it all together, maybe they are existing in fear. And so I love that you said that it's like the fear cells turned into cancer.
Yeah, the funny thing is our mind is like a magnet, and unfortunately what we fear will eventually manifest. That's why, it's a really hard thing to control this kind of a mindset, because we're dwelling in physical body, we often fear, maybe the ultimate fear is the fear of death. So how to conquer this fear is a really difficult challenge. However, we have to be more consciously aware what kind of mindset, what kind of emotion is going on within our mind. And then once we find the fear within, we have to try so hard to turn into hope. Turning something completely opposite.
And love.
So that's why love. And then that's why I think faith, or the practicing faith, really makes it easier to turn fear into love and hope. I know it's easier said than done, but there is a way. There is a way to change it and conquer it.
Yeah. And I agree. I believe that when you have fear, it absolutely becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whatever you're scared is going to happen. If you remain in that place, it will happen. So you have to change it to hope. And I always say, if you can just see like a glimmer of light, a glimmer of hope, you don't have to fully, step into it. But if you could just see a glimmer of hope, you can shift from that fear into the hope and believing.
That's right. Yes, because our mind cannot think about two contradicting things. So, as soon as we find some fear, we have to, try to change the gear and then change, find the glimpse of hope. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And it's easier said than done, but it's more than possible because people are doing it every day. It takes practice and being conscious and aware and just starting.
Right. Yes. And then to understand logically, that is the formula of the mind. I think it helps, without knowing what's going on. I think knowledge really helps us to steer into the right direction. That's why I believe these teachings, the books of truth that Ryuho Okawa has written really helps to conquer any kind of distress and fear in life.
Amazing. Is he ever going to be coming to the United States? Because I'd love to meet him.
Well, maybe because he came to New York, I believe that was 2016, so like 3 years ago. 3 and 4 years ago. So he might be coming, and you're very much, I will invite you.
Yes, please let me know. I need to meet this beautiful, magical man. Okay, so moving on. What would you say is the significance of living by the motto, today is my whole life?
Yes, that is actually the motto that Ryuho Okawa decided after he resurrected from his death. So basically, our life is, no matter how long we live, but it's a continuation of every single day. So we don't know when is our time to cross over, but we don't want to leave any regrets, especially regrets towards the people around us. So we should cherish every day. We should live each day as a fullest, and we should appreciate each day, and then do whatever we can to do within the day without leaving any regrets. Especially, for example, if we had some quarrel or some disagreements with people around us, and we may said some harsh things, and that really haunt us. And what if we just, go away? I mean, meaning leave this world without saying sorry to that person. That is going to be like a really haunting regret. So I think we should use this 24 hours very wisely and not selfishly, but try to live this whole day as a precious gold or the diamond, and make the best of it to ourselves and also to others. Yeah. That's the meaning of this, live a day as a whole life.
Yeah, and what's coming to me is when we're sick, even if it's just a cold, whenever I've been sick, and then I appreciate being healthy so much more, and it helps you to appreciate life and your health and everything. But what would you say to somebody who, for whatever reason, is just having a really hard time staying present and enjoying the moment and the day? Let's say they are in their fear and they're worried about the future and they're worried about regretting something, or are they making the right decision? They're just all stuck up in the fear. How do you help that person stay present and enjoy the day?
Right, that is a really tough thing. But actually, realistically thinking, today and now is the only time we have control over. Well, we cannot change the past, and then we cannot change future from now. I mean, by changing today is the only option we have, and by changing today, we can eventually change tomorrow. So even if you're in the midst of despair and really negative situation, I really hope you don't ever lose hope, because even if you cannot see, there's always an angels and God and some guiding beings that are trying to help you, and you're not alone. And we really want to reach out to every one of those people, say that you are loved and you are not alone, and just don't lose hope, and that God will never give you any burden that you cannot sustain. And there's always the sunrise the next day.
Yes.
I don't know.
The sun will come out tomorrow. I used to sing that song.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, there's always.
Yeah, and then it's really hard, but the important things that the God will never give us a burden which we cannot endure. This is a truth. So, the degree of the endurance, the degree of problems, everybody is different. However, we have to tell ourselves, we have to convince ourselves that we can do this. We can break through these problems, because, I am a child of God, and I can, and I will be able to overcome over and over again.
Yeah, you need to make it a mantra.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and do you guys work with mantras and affirmations? I feel like they're very helpful in making something into your reality.
Yes. We actually have a prayer or the Dharma called the true words spoken by Buddha. It used to be called the Dharma of the right mind, which was the translation of the Japanese sutra, like a mantra. But we now have this the English version called the true words spoken by Buddha, which is given to, if you become a member of Happy Science, you will receive this sutra. with donation. I believe it was like a $10 donation. And then this is really has a power of every single word in this prayer has a power to really ignite the innate power within us, because this sutra is coming from the highest part of the heaven and really connects our soul to the Father of our souls, divine beings. It's really powerful, and I really recommend. Only by reciting this sutra really makes a shift in our mindset. So it's really good. And also there's a powerful book called I Can. It's only available through print on demand for the time being, but it's a really good affirmation to say I can all the time instead of I cannot.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And like we were saying before, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that if you say I cannot, then you cannot. But if you say I can, then you can.
Yeah, that's right. I think it takes a will and training. It's more like so Happy Science is more like a kind of a soul training gym. We go to gym to train our muscles, but the Happy Science is more like a training gym for souls.
Yes,
we're aiming for the black belt for our souls.
Yes, I love it, and that's true.
Yeah.
Awakening, evolving, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you said people pay $10 for that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a donation, because the Happy Science is a donation-based organization. It's the NPO. So, anybody who, wish to receive this sutra, it's called True Words Spoken by Buddha, they can receive it by submitting $10 donation, yes.
And they do that, can they go online and do that, or do they have to go somewhere in person?
And I believe both way. I believe that anybody can go online to happyscience-na.org, which is like a happy science in one word, and hyphen NA. NA means North America, kind of strange. Okay. Happy Science North America NA.org. And you can find your nearest locations. Like I said, in Los Angeles, there are locations in Pasadena, Orange County, and San Diego.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
And so now just moving on to, I just want to ask you a little bit more about the movie. I know that it was released, it says it was released on January 17th. So, which means that people
video
can actually,
on demand, yes.
People can actually see that now, correct?
Yeah, yes, at home, yes.
And I watched the trailer. I'm very excited to watch the whole thing. It seems just amazing. Can you tell us just kind of about the journey for that movie and how you kind of put it together, and what parts are you said it's 80% true. Like, what are the parts about that relate to the book? And you can even just tell us more about the book also. I just want to hear just more about his story and everything.
Yeah, so the book is a kind of a recollection of what really happened on May 14, 2004. It was time that Master Okawa had an episode. But movie was kind of depicted more dramatically. The funny thing is that in actual reality, even though he had this illness called it's kind of a difficult word. Basically heart failure, and he was diagnosed as he was dead yesterday. It sounds kind of crazy.
And he was very young, right?
He was 47, and he had some pain around his chest, and he felt like his body was swelling, and he thought, or maybe he hated hospital because he always felt the doctors are very pessimistic, and they always said the worst of the worst, and he didn't like going to hospitals for like a regular checkups. The doctors are actually surprised that he came into the hospital on Saturday for the checkup, but it was actually worse than the Okawa actually thought by himself. But in the movie, it was like he had an acute pain in the chest, and he was taken to the hospital, and then the doctor said there's no way for him to be cured. It's either the heart transplant or, the worst case scenario, he will die within a day or so, or he's been dead already. That kind of thing that he was told. Because if you see the movie, you can see that the picture of the X-ray, the water, the liquid was filled in the heart and the lung, and then the heart was not contracting, so there's no blood flow in his body. So medically speaking, he was deceased already. But he was he was doing fine. He was controlling the pain with his will, and he was eating lunch and dinner the previous day. So it's kind of astonishing. It's almost like the dead person is walking in a hospital. Wow. But the movie was more dramatic.
Okay.
Because, otherwise it won't be,
right.
They need
to be dramatic.
But, yes.
They need to be dramatic.
Yeah, it needs to be dramatic. But the movie is more like a spiritually, I would say, it's more like a spiritually educational movie rather than the entertainment movie.
Yeah.
It gives you the story of a man who suffered, going through the middle age crisis and suffered this heart failure, but he resurrected, and then he took this life as a second life that he was given, so he really wanted to dedicate himself for the happiness of the all humanity. That's how he has been doing for the last 15 years, and still going on. And it's just all he wishes is the happiness for all, the betterment of this world. So it's a very inspiring and also very encouraging, and it really gives hope to people who watch it.
Yeah, like he it wasn't his time. He needed to do this to inspire people. And it's also saying that, I think the message also is that it shouldn't take a near-death experience or an illness or anything to get you to just live your life and to its fullest and to be as happy as you possibly can. That we all have the power to do that.
Yes.
I love it. And just one more question about, so you came to Happy Science. You want to just tell us a little bit more about how your personal journey, how you found Happy Science?
Okay, so this was a very interesting journey. When I was young, I was originally coming to United States to study. However, some kind of a twist in my fate brought me to London, UK. And I was never really religious or spiritual. I was more like a very materialistic person. And one day, somebody was a mutual friend of mine, gave me a book called The Laws of the Sun. And that book really opened my eyes.
Did you say The Love of the Sun?
It's called The Laws of the Sun.
Laws of the Sun.
Laws of the Sun. Yeah, that book really opened my eyes. And then that was the turning point, defining moment of my life to become involved in Happy Science. I mean, it didn't happen like a kind of an overnight sensation, but it just the book, the contents of the book somehow spoke to me really deeply within my mind. And then somehow in one sensation I had was that I knew this kind of a thing somehow. I don't know, even though I read this book for the first time, but I felt like I knew this philosophy, or I knew these teachings, and really resonated in my heart. And then because I always believed, and there's Christianity, Buddhism, the many religions, and there's always fighting. And just what's the point? Believing God because everybody's fighting. But after reading The Laws of the Sun, everything came from one source, and the teachings seems to be different from the surface because those teachings were catering to the time, the era, and the location of the places. But essentially, it is one source and one teachings, and it's the God is trying to help many people on a different corner of the planet. So that really gave me a comfort. And I say, okay, everything, even though on the surface everybody's fighting and everybody's kind of, disrespecting one another, but it's wrong. And it just, the God wish is to everybody respect one another and respect the differences, but just rejoice the equality of the divine nature and that kind of stuff. That really opened my mind.
Absolutely, and that is so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your story and for sharing everything that you've shared today. Could you please?
Thank you.
Could you please kind of go over how people can contact you, Mr. Okawa, how they can get the book, and how they can get the video, how they can learn more about Happy Science? Yes.
So the website for this movie and VOD is immortal-hero.com. And for the books, it's called okawabooks.com, OKAWA books.com. And for Happy Science, it's Happy Science, nothing in between, -NA, which stands for North America, .org. Okay. So I know there's a free website, but it's, even if you go one website, it leads to other websites, so it's easier. So whatever is easier to memorize, okawabooks.com or immortal-hero.com or happyscience-na.org.
And if anybody wants to contact you, how do they contact you?
Please contact through okawabooks.com. Okay. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And as always, if anybody would like to reach out to me with any questions, my website is therelationshipexpert.com, and my Instagram is @therelationshipexpert. Just the letter X, not EX. The Relationship Expert. So, Keiko, thank you so much for joining us today. This was such a special show. I know all my viewers are just going to be so inspired. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, and especially thank you for what you do. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I would love to meet you and Mr. Okawa at some point. That would be amazing. Maybe you guys can come here in person.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes. Keep in touch. Thank you.
Definitely. Everybody have a wonderful evening, and thank you for watching Love Talk Live. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Too. Bye.
You're listening to Love Talk Live with the relationship expert, Jaime Bronstein, only on LA Talk Radio.